Hi, vegan. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my God. So this morning we woke up to snow. Yesterday I was literally wearing flip-flops. Today it's snowing out. Wow. Just wow. Can't believe that. Cannot believe it. How are you today, vegan? I hope you are doing well. Ugh, I was waiting. I mean, this is spring. Why is it snowing? This whole year has been weird. So weird. Like it was in the 30s this morning, which is cold. Hey, tacos, on your way to work? Are you just getting ready for work? We got snow last night. Well, I don't know when it started. This morning when I woke up, it was snowing. Like it was coming down pretty good. I cannot believe it. I'm moving to a warmer climate. Except my husband loves this. He just loves this weather. He's a weirdo. He's a weirdo. Why? What's going on in 2 weeks? Yeah, but in your line of work, and correct me if I'm wrong, in your line of work, you can probably find a job anywhere, correct? Or is there just certain places that you can work? Because I mean, you do a service to the community by taking care of these people. Census is down and we need to be higher, otherwise they will cut one of us. Well, it won't be you because you're awesome at your job. You are. I know you talk tough on here, but I believe that you're probably one of the most compassionate workers there. I think you are. Beneath that rough exterior lies a heart of gold. Oh, Lord. I can't believe it snowed last night. Sort of. Now everyone is wanting master's level clinicians, and I'm still working on my master's. Oh, really? Well, doesn't experience count for something, though? I there's something to be said about book smarts, but there's also something to be said about hands-on experience, as far as I'm concerned. Like if I was going to pick my own therapist, and it was between someone that's um, gone to school and got their master's, or someone that's very compassionate and has been working with people for like X amount of years, I would pick the one that's been working with people for X amount of years. You would think experience would count, but doesn't seem to matter right now. Yeah. That's weird. What they should do is ask their clients what they want. But like with me, with my therapist, they never asked me they just literally took me from one therapist and gave me another one. And that was hard for me um to accept because I did not want to go through having another, you know, relating all the experiences I had relayed to my other therapist was a new one. And I went from a woman to a man. So that was even twice as hard for me. So I think there's something to be said about like asking the client. Most of my clients want a therapist who is in recovery, has had an addiction. Well, you know what? That makes sense because then you know what they're going through. You can relate to them. You know what I mean? Like if you've never ever been, um, you've never been through an addiction or whatever, and never had to go through that, a struggle with it, then how can you relate to your clients? Like, that's just my opinion. And I mean, I'm not, I'm definitely not, but I would say, like, where my son went for his addiction, for his rehab, all his the people that he got closest to were people that were former addicts. Most of my clients, yeah. And that's the one. And even him now, he holds like sessions now, my son does, with other addicts, and they can relate to him because he's been through the really roughest part of it. So I'm really proud of him too, because he is so serious about not falling down that rabbit hole again. But, you know, oh, jeez, what's going on? My YouTube isn't working. I don't know why it's not working. Yeah, I understand. That's something. But my son, he does sessions with some of the other people that are in recovery. Thing is, his own, well, ex-girlfriend, the mother of his child, is in rehab now. She went in rehab for alcohol addiction, and she went through the whole program, went through it, got out, and what do you call it? What do you call it when they go back to when they go back to yeah, she's in rehab again. Ginger Locks, good morning. So what do you think of the whole Derek Chauvin trial? My bosses are PhDs and LPCs, but haven't had an addiction. Though they haven't licensed to treat it. They're book taught, yeah, book smart, and being book smart and being having common sense, I think, are different. I knew immediately it was, yeah. I think everybody pretty much knew that he was going to be found guilty. Like, I mean, there was so much evidence against him. What are your opinion? You want to come up and tell your opinion about it, or I mean, it's up to you. Or are you taking the girls to school? Yeah, it was not a surprise. I don't even think it was a surprise to him, because if you look at his face when the verdict came in, he did not even look surprised. Like, he was just like, I think he had resigned himself that it was going to be guilty. I am kind of, I'm glad it came out the way it did, because I think there would have been a really bad, I think there would have been a really bad protest had it not come out the way it did. Oh, are they? You want to come up? Um, so I don't think they had a choice but to find him guilty. There was just too much evidence, like just too much evidence. Come on. I mean, there was video. He'd had problems with this guy before. So, I mean, I don't know. They said, I'm surprised when I heard this morning that he could get 40 years. I was surprised, to be honest with you. Oh, sure. Because I didn't think that, but he got found guilty on all three. So, all three counts. So, you know, it's, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised at that it came out the way it did because what he did was despicable. Always film the police. It exposes the rats. Exactly, Grumpy Vegan. I agree. That video too of him when he had his knee on George's neck was pretty hard to watch. Hi, Carlos. How are you doing? By the way, good morning, Grumpy Vegan. Um, that video was very hard to watch. I was actually not going to watch it, but hey,
Hi.
hi,
How you doing?
good. So, what do you think he's going to get?
He'll get the max of whatever he can get.
Well, I'm hearing on the news today that it will be 40 years.
Well, if he gets 40 years, that's life for him, pretty much. So,
Oh, pretty much, yeah.
that's that's life. I mean, and like, depends on if the prisoners allow him to live.
That's true. He might have to be
He's
in
going.
protective.
And see, to me, I think the worst torture for him would to be locked in a cell by himself for the rest of his life, allowed out maybe to to go to the bathroom, do what he needs to do for like the hour, like Chris Watts, and go back in. You get 1 hour out each day. That's
Yeah.
torture. That
Yeah.
is torture, to be left by yourself and your thoughts and nothing else.
Well, didn't he torture George? Like, wasn't that a form of torture, what he did? Like, the guy was begging him to
oh yeah,
stop.
I absolutely. To me, it was force that was not needed to be used.
Exactly. And I don't know anyone that I've talked to so far that has disagreed with the
No,
the outcome of this
me either.
verdict.
I
Like,
don't know anybody
everybody.
who says that this is okay. Not even a cop that I know that
And they
thinks.
said it was unprecedented how many police testified against one of their own, like one of their own. Like, usually they stick together, but
They do, but they got to stand up, and especially if these people, they want a job moving forward, feeling secure. You got to. Everybody saw this. They couldn't say that this wasn't necessary. We all saw it happen.
oh, definitely.
And
Like, I
some
mean,
people yesterday made the comment about him having drugs in his system. Yeah, whether you have drugs in your system or not, someone puts a knee to your neck for almost 10 minutes, you're going to die.
exactly. Well, I wouldn't, I know any any person in their right mind that saw that video knows that that was unnecessary. He could have at any time. Now, George did not need to die that day. He did not need to die.
No, that was it
I mean,
wasn't. But that, I won't even say his name. The cop. I'll give him that. The cop,
right,
the dirty cop. That's what she.
right.
Because he's not a cop. He's a dirty ass cop.
Yep. And unfortunately, there's a few of them. Like, I'm not saying they're all dirty, but there's a
No,
few
God,
dirty.
I've dealt with dirty cops in like little small towns.
Oh, really?
Oh
See,
yeah.
I've never had that many run-ins with cops, so I've never really had the experience of being around, dirty cops. So I guess,
See,
I mean,
growing up where I grew up in in the city. And
right,
normally, when you grow up there, you got a lot of police officers that live in the same area that I lived with. Guess what? You have a lot of mafia too.
Do you believe it was because he was black and the cop was like racist?
I have no idea whether this was a personal thing or
Just
it was
yeah.
race based. I have no idea why he would do that to someone and literally let people watch him kill this. I don't understand
Well,
the whole.
he knew he was being filmed too.
Mhm.
Like,
He
what
didn't
the
seem to
hell was?
care very much at all.
No, he didn't. He didn't give a shit. And I mean, the guy was literally begging for his life. Like he kept saying,
Once,
please.
yeah, once he
Like,
said, "I need air," that's it. You give that
yeah.
like that's it.
And I'm not real happy with the other cops either. But everybody says, well, they were new and, but, I mean, they could have done something, I think, something more to help them. Because said, look, man,
Oh, Carla, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Can't really think
exactly.
that right now.
But
Now,
are they going to be tried too?
I don't think so. I don't
Or
think
did they
so.
testify against him? Probably testified against him.
I don't know. I didn't really watch the trial. I really didn't watch the trial. I caught like bits and pieces of it, but because this story like literally doesn't add up in my head, it makes me feel sick to like my stomach to a point where what happened to this guy is so horrendous and to me that I can't even watch it because there's no sense and logic in it whatsoever, or that they thought their lives were in danger or anything like that.
Oh, right. There was no, yeah.
There was no
But
threat.
it took me the longest time to even watch that video because everybody kept saying, you
When
can't
I
watch it.
watched it, I had no idea what I was watching. It
Yeah.
just came out and it was on TMZ. And I got physically sick because I watched it and it just made me completely physically sick.
Yeah, me too. Like when I saw it, it was like there is no doubt that he is going to be found guilty because I mean, there's just so much evidence. Hey, jackpot.
Well, here was what I was worried about yesterday because the judge had said it during the trial. This is probably the one of the clips I saw was that he said this whole thing could end up being a mistrial. So I thought that this could have been a mistrial.
It could have been. It only takes one juror. It
So
only takes one juror.
That's what I was concerned about.
But yeah,
But I think that the jury apparently was not sequestered and they were able to watch the news. They were encouraged not to watch TV, but they watch TV. They,
oh, of course.
me as a juror, and knowing the story, I don't know anybody who wouldn't say that wasn't guilty. Or I get it that he had a narcotics problem and things like that, but that
Oh, definitely. He wasn't an angel. Let's
who really is. I mean, nobody
but
really is.
yeah, but he didn't deserve what happened to him.
It
So,
doesn't matter
people
what
that
he
use
did.
that,
You have to look at it this way. It doesn't matter what he did in the past, because at that moment,
exactly.
you don't know who that person is. And he just takes your, like, he knew who he was.
Right. Well, he was, he was a father, he was a son, he was a brother, he was a boyfriend, whatever. His life mattered. And I mean, that's what it showed me yesterday is that at least because a lot of times in these cases, because this is what happened in Pittsburgh, a cop shot a black kid and he got off. And a lot of times that's what happens because nobody will testify against the cop. And there was a big riot
Honestly,
here.
think about the whole Rodney King situation. And they all got off. None of them were found guilty. And that was something that was pretty much irrefutable, that they were using such excessive force, beating a man who was down. and
Right.
they got let go.
Right. I remember that. That was
Oh,
years
I
ago.
was in high school. I was in high school.
I remember him like, oh God, that
Yeah,
was
unfortunately,
like one of the
that
most
image is
horrific
embedded in your
things.
brain when if you were around, you know, for those times, if you were
Yeah.
around, and because I can remember because we didn't have anything else but TV to watch, and when you turned it on, that was the only thing you saw. Where now you don't have to watch TV; you can come to your phone and pick and choose what you want to watch.
What I don't understand is with all the cell phones and all the videos and all the things out nowadays, how do they think cops? I mean, everybody has a cell phone. How do
And
cops
cops wear
like
body
him
cams.
think they can get away with what he did and get off scot-free?
I
Like,
don't know how he thought that was going to be okay. I really don't. I don't. And like I said, I can't tell you because none of it makes sense to me. That whole thing didn't make sense. Didn't make sense what the cop did at all. And it's to me, it's a very disturbing video. And it's
oh
very
yeah.
disturbing what happened to him, regardless of who he was in the past. Because at that moment, nobody knows what you did in the past. You know what I mean? Until you
It
find
doesn't
out
matter,
later
and
and
it
ask
doesn't
for it.
even matter what he did in the
Exactly.
past.
That's what I mean. It doesn't matter because you don't like. I was arrested once before, so you know, someone who
Because
wasn't
I've
arrested. Am
heard
I going
people,
to
I've
be?
heard that argument. Well,
What's that?
you were arrested?
I was arrested.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, yeah. You
Oh,
think
our
I
sweet
keep
little
telling
ginger.
y'all? You think of this innocent
Actually, I
person?
was too. I got a disorderly conduct because we went out drinking one night and
Yeah,
we got
apparently mine was stems as well.
yeah, it was like no, we spent the night in like a pokey, and my dad had to bail me out and he was not happy with me. How did you end up in jail? Well, yeah, I was a bad girl.
Most people I know, not most, I wouldn't even say most, but there's a lot of people who people would be shocked as shit to know that they were arrested at least once or whatever. You know, it's like it was
Well,
fine. You
yeah,
went to
and
college, you were underage.
yeah, and I was underage. I think I was 16 or 17 at the time. And it was all underage drinking and getting, rowdy and thinking that you're cool and mouthing off, and the cops did not find that amusing. So me and my girlfriend were arrested.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
cop kept
Cops don't
saying to
find
me,
that amusing at all,
yeah, yeah.
especially probably coming from drunk teenagers.
Oh, yeah. Well, and the cop kept saying, because we were trying to make a joke out of it because we thought it was funny, and cool. And the cop kept saying to us, "You think you're funny? I'm going to show you funny." And they put us in handcuffs. And I was like, after that, I was terrified. I was like, oh my God, my dad is going to kill me. And he was not happy, let me tell you.
Mm.
Let me tell you.
Well, there was a time that the cops were coming after us, and see this was when I had a beach house,
Mm-hmm.
and we lived on the bay,
Right.
and we were out, and we would be out till like 5-6 o'clock in the morning in those days. Jesus Christ. And
The old days.
right from where our house was this bridge that you went from Avalon to like another part of Avalon. It was like West Avalon or whatever. And it's this tiny small bridge, and we used to jump off it all the time. So it was a night after drinking. We were at the bar. We decided that we were going to jump off the bridge. Next thing you know, the cops pull up and they're ready to like totally arrest us. So instead, we're like, cops or bay. So we jumped in the bay.
Oh my God.
We jumped in the bay. So we jumped in the bay. And then we had realized that the tide was like really, really low, and we couldn't really get up to the ladder of some of the docks. So we said, "Look, you can arrest us if you come get us out." They're like, "Yeah, nah, figure it out yourself.
It's like when you're young, you just don't like,
You're
you're just,
stupid. You
yes,
do
you're young and stupid.
stupid
Yeah.
things." That's why I feel bad for the young today. They don't have that opportunity.
I would never mouth off to a cop now or, like, but I thought I was being cool when I was that age,
Mhm,
I
mhm.
just
Oh,
did.
but when I jumped off the bridge, mind you, I was like 25 years old.
Oh, well, yeah, yeah,
I was 25, so it wasn't like I was a young kid. Well,
yeah.
I was. I
I
was.
was kind of, yeah, I was, I
I was still
was,
a young
I
kid.
was, I was a teenager. So teenagers are stupid. Like, yeah, watch your teenagers, people, because
I have
teenagers.
one, and she is not stupid at all.
Well, yeah, I think, well, nowadays you can't afford to be stupid with
And not
cell
not
phones
only
and
that,
everything.
it's such a different world. Like, I just
It
don't let my
is.
kid out and be like, all right, I'll see you at 11 o'clock. Like,
It
that's just not
really
how it
is.
works anymore.
Plus, you don't want them wandering around. Yeah,
Oh, hell no,
because with
no.
everything that we know nowadays,
I
like,
will not let my child walk anywhere by herself if it's after sunset at all.
yeah, I don't blame you.
No way.
But when my kids were young, and my kids are, in their 30s now, when my kids were young, it wasn't an issue to let them play in the playground and, ride their bikes. Now, if I was raising young kids now, like my grandkids, I'm like, no, there's no way. When they're here, I'm wherever they are, I am.
It's different times. It's
Yeah,
different things were different. Things were very, very different than they are today.
yeah.
And it's true because, oh my God, like we were huge drinkers in high school. If my daughter now, I'd be, she couldn't do that. Number one, she's diabetic. She literally couldn't. And just, I would never ever give them that much leeway to make that much
I
of it.
smoked, I drank. I used to steal. My dad used to make wine. I used to steal wine from my dad and just take it. And we used to have bush parties. We'd go out in the bush and have bush parties. But,
A friend
you
of
know,
mine, his parents were Portuguese off the boat, and they would make homemade wine. Yeah, we got into that once. Whew.
oh, that stuff is,
Homemade wine.
that
Good
stuff.
God
I
Almighty.
projectile vomited with
Yeah,
that stuff
yeah,
because the whole,
yeah.
the whole
Ooh.
thing about drinking that was to get drunk. That's all. We didn't care what we were drinking. We just wanted to get drunk and have
Well,
fun.
at that age, that's all you're looking to because it still doesn't
Yeah.
taste good to you, but you're
No,
aware of
it
what it
tasted
does.
like shit actually because it was red wine and I hate red wine.
Hey,
But
you hate red wine.
oh, I hate it. I hate it. I can only drink white wine. But he made really good wine. Like he used to give it away and stuff. He had his own labels and everything. But the whole point of me drinking was to get drunk. So I drank this whole bottle of wine and I was never so sick in all my life. I actually slept in the bathroom, puking in the toilet. And you know how you get the bed spins? Have you ever had the bed spins?
Oh, yeah.
It's the worst. The worst. You have to have one foot on the floor
And
because
that's always like right where you are, like at the between the buzz and the drunk point. You're in between that stage and everything spins.
oh my God, Taco said she didn't have her first drink until she was 20.
Really? Oh my
Oh
God.
my
I
God.
cannot say the same. But once again,
Oh,
different times. I would go over friends' house, and my parents were friends with all my friends' parents. So, when we would go over, in grade school they would give us a beer. Like, that wasn't unheard of.
well, my
Like,
dad
they
was
would
in
let us
the
have a beer or
my
something like
dad
that.
was in the Air Force and we lived on a base. So everybody knew each other. So when we drank, we had to do it in the woods. Because
We did that too.
oh my God, because if you were out in the open,
You're
someone
gonna
was
get
going to
arrested,
yeah, arrested, or someone was going to go and
or
tell your
someone's gonna
parents.
see this big
Yep.
tin thing with you that shouldn't be
Yeah.
around teenagers.
Oh, I swear to God. the things we did, and you think now, how did we survive? Like, how did we
That I'm
survive?
alive, sometimes I'm absolutely completely amazed, because you know what's funny? I would say I was quite immature going even into, I would say even going into my 30s, I was still immature. Um, I got married. When I got married and met Jason, things changed. That's when things changed for me. And then I got pregnant. And after I got pregnant, I started having chronic illness problems. And so now, like, I'm the mother of our group of friends, while my friends are the ones I'm always worried about when we're out. I'm like,
Yeah.
how did we role reverse completely? Like,
I
how did
don't
I
know.
become the mom of the
I
group?
know I'm like this, like I act so innocent, but I was not innocent when I was grown up. Like I said, I got arrested, me and my girlfriend. And oh God, I remember having to call my dad because of course they give you a photo and it was on the base. And my dad had to come and my dad was an officer and he goes, do you know what
Oh,
that's gonna look for like for me? My daughter's in
uh,
jail.
oh,
Yeah.
I can't even imagine if that
Oh
was my
God.
situation,
I was grounded for like ever. But I
which
mean,
you should have been.
yeah, oh,
Absolutely. I would have.
absolutely. But then again, I would sneak out of the house because
See, I
my
never snuck out of my
oh, I
house.
did.
No, I couldn't.
I did. I
There's
couldn't
no way
stand
I
being.
could have in the house that I lived in, because my parents did, my parents were light sleepers. So when you were up, they always heard you. So
Oh, my dad was a snorer. He snored really loud, so
that
I
was,
could.
my mom was a snorer. She still is a snorer. But she, one sound, she's awake.
Wow. No, my parents, they slept through everything. But like I'm like that's what I'm saying. Like it's a miracle that we lived through all that because you know there was a lot of craziness going on.
Yeah,
And
I'm
we
glad.
didn't worry
Yeah,
about
and
like
I wouldn't have had it any other way.
but
And
it's
now that
not
I look
like
back, I wouldn't have had it, because if I didn't do the stuff that I did when I was younger, it would, like, the thinking that I could even do stuff like that, like, that's not even a thought for me anymore. And sometimes my body, when I go out, I have fun and I forget the age I am. And that
right.
is a really terrible experience.
Right. Well, you have so many issues with your health and stuff. So I can imagine you lived your life until your 30s. So you lived your best life.
Well, even in my 30s, I lived my life, except I lived, like a young mom does, taking their
Yeah.
kids to, like,
Mhm.
amusement parks,
Right.
play dates, things like
Right.
that. And you're part of, like, a mom's group in the
Right.
neighborhood. And I mean, I have so many friends still in my neighborhood from just being
Right.
a part of the moms group, because I didn't live in this area that I live in now all the time.
And you
I never
still have
lived
a
in New
lot of
Jersey.
your good friends, correct?
What's that?
You still have a lot of, hey, Remy, you still have a lot of your good friends.
Sometimes it feels like it's too many. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, we should do this. We should do this. But we always say we should, and we never do it until, like, somebody's like, all right, we finally need to do
Well,
this.
you have to spread yourself thin too, because you can't
I
be
have to spread myself
everybody,
thin.
everybody. Well, you're well, everybody wants a piece of you. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yes. Nobody knows when the
Like,
next thing,
no, we don't know when the next time she's going to the hospital. We
including
want her
myself,
now.
including myself, I don't even know. So
Right. Well, you're
yeah,
going away this weekend, right?
I am. Well, I'm
Oh,
going overnight. That's all.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
How far,
no, because
how
I
much of
also
a
had to,
drive, how
huh?
much of a drive is that?
About a little over 2 hours. I think it's two
Well,
hours.
that's not too bad.
No, it's not too bad. I'll have to probably step out and stretch, but I know how to get to Hershey. I've been to Hershey. So that we used to, when the kids were much younger, we used to vacation in Lancaster a lot. So, because there's a lot for families to do in that area, especially during the summertime. So much to do. I love the whole Amish country area. And Hershey's not far from that at all.
Oh my God, I see a huge cloud of smoke. Maybe it's cannabis smoke. I wonder if our building finally caught fire. She
Oh, geez. I hope
She
your
said she-
building didn't catch on fire.
so maybe it's everybody smoking cannabis.
Morning, Remy.
Is that a real thing?
What?
420? Like, is that a real like celebration day for people?
It is. Well, yeah, I've noted it's not, I wouldn't call it a holiday. I would say it's a made up holiday based around being, 420 was the number you used when someone was in possession.
You see, I never knew that. And I know I was too embarrassed to ask anybody why did they say 420 all the time? Because I've seen that around, like I've seen it around, and I never knew what the significance of that number was.
What 420 meant.
Yeah,
I was
I
a
didn't
Dave
know.
Matthews Band fan for a very, 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 which I still am, but like I'd go to see them. So yeah, I knew exactly what 420 meant. But I was
Ooh.
never a pipehead back in the day. I did not like marijuana at all. Hated it, as a matter of fact. Every now and then I would take like 2 hits and I would be unbelievably stoned. Unbelievably stoned. So
Well, I'm
built up the
gonna
tolerance. I don't
reveal
get
this.
stoned like that anymore.
When I went to visit my daughter, and my daughter gets it for she was in a car accident. She gets that for pain. She goes,
Right.
Mom, come on. She goes, just smoke a little bit with me. So I took it. I choked most of it, but I
Peer
didn't.
pressure
Yeah,
from your daughter.
I know. But she said, just try it. I mean, you'll relax. And I really did relax because it made me relax. But
There's an agent in it that makes your muscles relax, especially if your
it
muscles
does.
hurt. Like you're going to feel an incredible benefit. Now, if you're someone who doesn't really feel pain, CBD isn't going to do crap for you. I mean, the only thing it helps is with my aches and pains,
Hi, Quinny.
but it doesn't give you a
It's
head.
Ginger Lock's mom.
What?
That's Ginger Lock's mom. Quinny says hello, Carla, and I'm not sure who else is on
Hi,
panel.
Quinny.
Taco
It's
says,
not like, trust me, I am not bragging though about the stuff I did. I'm not bragging at all. But you
you know what?
live, you
It's
learn, and
experience, though. It's
I
an
wouldn't take
experience.
back all the mistakes that I made. I wouldn't, because of those mistakes, I've learned so much.
But do you think nowadays, with the internet and all this stuff we know about everything that can happen to kids, and that we are so much more cautious than our parents were, that well, not you so much, but me, when my kids were young, weren't as cautious with our kids as today?
My parents were cautious. Yes, my parents were
My parents, oh my
absolutely
God, my
cautious.
parents weren't. That's how I got out.
But I mean, in the 80s, you went outside to play and run and do stuff like that where you got hurt, where kids really aren't doing that much at all. Everything's
Right.
now based around technology. And I'm telling you, I can't, I can sit and yell at my kids, but I'm the biggest hypocrite because I use YouTube. But I'm not on TV like I used to be. I don't do the other stuff. Like, I watch YouTube. That's kind of what I do.
That's exactly like me. I will go days without ever turning my TV on. Just not turning my TV on.
When I was in the hospital, I was paying $9 a day for TV. And the one time I was in there, and she goes, "Oh my God, I think you've been here for a week now, and I've never seen you turn on your TV." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm paid for it, but no, I'm not using it that much." But
There's nothing on that I really want to watch on TV.
There's things like I like Wendy Williams still. I still enjoy watching her every morning at 10 o'clock.
Oh, I watched the last season of Shameless.
Yeah.
All the episodes are out, so I was kind of disappointed in the last episode. I thought,
I was
maybe,
honestly disappointed in the whole last season.
yeah, the last season was like, I don't
Way
know what
too
they,
political.
yeah,
Way too political.
I don't know what they could have done. They had to do the whole masks thing.
Of
I mean, that was
course.
the gimme.
Of
But
course, but it
I
was,
mean, a lot
it
of
was
the
too much
episodes,
politics, I thought. Like when
yeah,
I watch a show, I'm trying to escape.
but
And then
I
it
was hoping there would be a big, interesting finale.
I thought what's her name would have come back.
Fiona, I was hoping she'd come back
But
too.
when they did that one episode of just about her,
Uh-huh.
I'm like, ugh. So I don't get to see an episode of Shameless. I get to watch this. I was very disappointed in the last season. I have to admit.
Yeah.
I didn't think, but no one could have predicted what would have happened in 2020. Nobody ever in the world would
No,
have predicted.
No.
So, I mean, is it probably a good representation of what the hell was going on during that time? Probably. So,
But I was really I was kind of hoping, like a couple of episodes back, that Fiona would make an appearance and
I
she would
thought
come back.
she would.
And she would,
I was
like,
kind of disappointed that she didn't.
Yeah.
That
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hope we didn't ruin that for anybody. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, it was the first 10 seasons of Shameless you can't miss. I mean,
Oh, my
I
God.
literally watched it in a week, 10 seasons of it. I literally just watched it from day to night. But
And I watched it, but I had to take breaks because now you know what I did to myself. Now when I think of Shameless, I think of the hospital because I watched it in the hospital.
I
completely
know,
when
I
was
know.
there.
Well, that's when I found out about the show. I didn't even know that show was
So,
on.
I
until you-
kind of tainted Shameless because I was stuck in the hospital. Because now every time I think of Shameless, I think of me in the hospital.
But I do thank you for turning me on to that show because it was really.
My best friend turned me on to it. I think it was the day before Christmas Eve.
And they couldn't have picked a better person to be the father because he was such an asshole.
Such a great drunk.
Oh my God, he was such a
great
creep.
He plays a great drunk.
Yeah,
I've always liked him.
Oh, I have too. He's a good actor. He's
Yeah,
been
he's
in
a
some
really
really good
actor.
movies. Yeah, he's been in. He's
Pleasantville. I love that movie.
Which one?
Pleasantville.
Pleasantville is a good movie. Another one he was in was Fargo. You ever seen him in Fargo? He was good in that too.
I have never watched Fargo.
Fargo. He
I've
was.
heard about it, but it was like
He was in that one. He was good in that one too.
I was younger, and I'm like, the Midwestern stuff didn't kind of stick out to me as being funny at the time. But I need to watch that, and I need to watch The Matrix.
I've never watched The Matrix either.
Me either.
Keanu Reeves,
And I love him.
I do too.
Yeah,
Hi, Clinty. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it.
Bye, Quinny.
Oh,
my second cup of coffee.
I mean, there's so many, like, okay, Johnny Depp, and I know you have a soft spot for Johnny Depp, but I think he's an underrated actor too. Like, I think he's a really good actor with all those.
It's not that I have a soft spot for Johnny Depp.
You despise.
I just don't like liars, and this chick gets caught constantly. And yesterday, Johnny Depp's lawyer was removed from Twitter for sticking up for Johnny. How?
Oh. Sounds like what they did to President Trump. Hi, Gemma.
You can't even put the two in the same category. I mean,
well, I know, but why? What's all this about? Like, you know,
her just Johnny Depp's lawyer proven over and over and over again.
Hi, Timmy.
Amber Heard is a liar. Over and over and over. There is nothing that this girl has uttered that is true. Not one bit of it.
I watched your video yesterday,
I was, and you know
and
what?
it was like
me,
really hard.
I had my
It's-
makeup on yesterday too, and I took it off. And I saw this. I'm like, all right, I'll have to do it barefaced. I don't care. I did it barefaced.
Oh, you
But
always look fantastic.
oh, I would have preferred to have makeup on.
Oh,
But
you looked amazing on Molly's panel yesterday.
you know why, right?
Amazing.
But do you know why, right?
Amazing.
I had fake lashes on for the first time.
I was gonna ask you that. I cannot for the life of me put fake eyelashes on. They get stuck.
was-
I mean, I'm
That was
the
my
worst.
first time. That was my first time actually
Ugh,
putting them on and keeping them on. Like I tried once before.
ugh.
Life with Jen and I were talking about this because she was just like she's trying out some new ones as well, and she's like she didn't like it either, and we both have the same type, which is like an eyeliner.
I've got magnetic ones sitting
Yes,
here
the
in my
magnetic
cupboard,
ones.
and
Hey,
I
Jenna.
don't. I've tried to put them on, and I can't for the life of me get the hang of it. I just can't.
I got it yesterday.
What did you do? How did you do it? Did you do it with tweezers?
It comes with tweezers, but I used it with more of my fingers and tweezers. So
So, do you put glue on them? Is that how it works?
no. What you do is you put the liquid eyeliner on your eyes,
Okay.
right? And then you got to let that dry for like a couple of minutes, and then you attach the eyelash to the magnetic eyeliner.
I need to try that because it makes such a difference in your appearance. You know what I mean? Like just having the eyelashes, because I was going to tell you yesterday, you look so different, like so amazing. It made such a difference. I mean, everybody noticed it.
Preppy's like, I'd glue my eyes shut.
Did you really? Well, where do you put the liquid eyeliner? On top?
On the top, yeah, on the top.
Okay, just right at the eye.
I don't have any for the bottom, just the top. I don't need the bottom.
Yeah,
but
well,
since I was losing hair, when I started losing all my hair because I got sick, I was also losing eyelashes because I've never needed to wear fake lashes because my eyelashes were very long.
Right.
And then I lost quite a bit of them, and that's why I got the fake lashes.
Jackpot says, yeah, I have the magnetic ones here, but I have never been able to use them. I don't know how it works.
I mean, today, try it out for yourself.
I will. You know what? I'm going
to around them in your house because you're not going to go out, put on foreign things on your eyes if you have no idea if they're going to annoy the crap out of you.
Because I would be, here's what would freak me out. I put them on, I'm on a live, I'm cammed up, and they fall off. Like that would be so embarrassing.
They won't fall off.
Oh.
And
so
not only that, yesterday I had a procedure. I started my day with
I know. How did that go?
It's so funny because like what I stress about when I go to these things is whether or not they can get a vein.
Right.
And once like they blow a vein, like I start getting like total anxious because I know I don't have many veins for them to find and see.
Right.
So I worked really hard. Like I drank tons of stuff with electrolytes. I'm drinking this new stuff called Body Armor Light. It's awesome, and it really helps with electrolytes. And so it really helps with me when I stand up because I think I was telling you, whenever I stand up, it goes black. A lot.
Yes.
And this stuff has been helping me with that. So obviously it has to do with my electrolytes.
Right.
So
it was a success, obviously.
Yeah, but the first lady, they took forever yesterday too, and they put the IV and she blew the one really good vein that I had, and I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me! I'm like so mad in the inside, and I'm smiling. I'm like, it's okay. It's okay, because I know it's not her fault, and I worked so that vein was perfect and she blew it. And I'm like, it's because she was unaware. When people get used to my skin, they know how to give me an IV.
Right.
There are certain people, like I have to get IV and normally there's a person at this surgery center who normally does my IV, but they were not there. So it was this new woman, and yeah, she blew it. And I was just like,
So were you had to get anesthetic, so that means you were under?
yes, they had the anesthesiologist come in, and he wound up putting the IV in the knuckle of my left thumb.
Really?
Yep. And he
Wow.
looks at me as he just gets done this, because you have to be like really ginger with it to make sure you don't knock it out, because this is
Right.
the only line that they were able to get.
Right.
And he looked at me, he goes, "Man, you're every anesthesiologist's dream," like extremely sarcastic. I said, "I'm sorry. I know." I said, "It's not my fault. I have no more veins left."
Oh.
That's why every time I go into the hospital, they will put a small IV in for like emergency room, but then they'll set up putting in a other kind of IV once I'm inside, because they know that they can't get my veins.
God. So did it snow where you are last night?
Hell no.
Did you see my video from
I
this
did
morning?
see that this morning.
Can you imagine?
They
I
were
woke up,
talking about it. They were
I could
saying,
not believe it. I woke up and I'm like, wow. I mean, it stopped now. Well, it's kind of like a little bit, but not, it'll melt by the end of the day, but still.
I think it probably will
Yesterday,
melt by 1 o'clock.
oh yeah, definitely. Because it's supposed to go up to 46 today. And then I think sometime this week it'll be in the 70s. But, I
Yeah,
mean,
no, tomorrow's supposed to be freaking cold.
I know, but yesterday, I'm telling you, yesterday I was literally wearing flip-flops. So I was like shocked when I woke up this morning and I was like, what?
Yeah,
What?
where was I yesterday? Oh, I was at the doctor's office, and they had said, "Oh, we're going to get snow." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Well, snow in April is not unheard of.
No, it isn't.
It sucks, but it's not unheard of."
No, it's just that it's been so nice like the last couple
Right.
weeks. We've had such nice weather
It's a
that,
cold blast. It's not lasting
yeah,
long,
oh
thankfully.
no, it won't last. And it'll all be melted by this afternoon, especially if the sun comes out. But it was just a big shock because I didn't expect it this morning. And my husband saw it because he brought me coffee upstairs and he didn't even bother to tell me.
Can I tell you a really funny story? It's something that's
Sure.
happening at this moment as I'm like talking with you, and I'm laughing inside so hard.
Okay.
All right. So I went to a college out in PA, and it was a state college. And
Right.
it's funny because I was in the student government. I was actually secretary of the student government for college. So we were responsible for a lot of things. And my friend Rudy, and Rudy was from Bolivia, and Rudy, he's like, he wanted to start this thing and he called it Banana Day. I'm like, why? Why not? I'm like, I'm sorry, this is freaking weird. I just think it's really weird. Banana Day. I poo-pooed the whole thing. I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it was stupid. I thought I'm like, I don't understand where you're going with this. God damn it, if it ain't 30 years or 20 years later or 25 years later, and they are still celebrating Banana Day at that college.
Seriously. What
They
is what?
show it on the news and stuff, and I'm like, God damn it. Every
But
year
what is Banana Day? What it's supposed to be
they
for?
gave out free bananas. That was it. To be, think of eating
That
healthy,
is-
things like that. And I'm like, but
Oh,
why a
really?
banana? Why not a banana?
That's
I'm
true.
like, so stupid. And
I know, it's so stupid that it's like it's stuck for 25 years.
and like the news stations go and they celebrate it with them. And I'm like,
Wow.
Rudy, I'm like, wow, thank God you didn't listen to me.
I have never heard of that. Seriously, never.
And I'm sitting here, and like one of the guys I used to actually work with when I worked in radio, he's the he's now the traffic guy here. So he's holding up to the bananas and they're talking about Banana Day. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Still. And I'm
Oh
like
my
46
God.
years old and you're still throwing in my face that. I'm
That's
like,
so
that
funny.
was so stupid.
That
Obviously,
is
whatever's
hilarious.
really stupid, because I also thought Jackass was really stupid.
That
And
show?
I lived in the land of Bam Margera.
You mean the show Jackass?
Did I know them? No.
No,
Have I
but
had any?
are you talking about the show?
Yes.
Oh my God, did they do the dumbest things on that show?
I didn't understand it, and I go, well, this was like there was maybe 2 episodes on. My friend worked in radio, who still works in radio, and we were hanging out at a bar, and these guys from Jackass came in. Now I had not seen it. I had seen like I think commercials of it at that
Mhm.
time, and I'm like, but why are you guys pushing each other in a cart and throwing
think that
yourselves into stuff and hurt? Because it's funny. Like, that's funny. It didn't make sense to me once again.
I
Look at these.
don't know. I
Well,
watched
actually, a
maybe
lot of those guys are really messed up now. And
I
Ryan
I
Dunn,
watched one where they went off the roof, I think into a swimming pool or something. And oh my God, the things that those guys did. I didn't watch a lot of that because
well,
it was like,
Bam lived in my neighborhood when I lived out in that area.
oh
And I
really?
saw him, like, he was a mess back then. Like, they were always completely shit-faced wasted whenever you saw them. The only one I ever saw who was probably not wasted was the guy Ryan Dunn, who unfortunately died.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. What didn't one of them pass away?
He was the one I kind of knew that I could say hi to. That was
Uh-huh.
it. Yeah.
What did
He
he
was
pass
actually a
away
really
from?
nice guy.
What did he pass away from? Was it a car
Uh,
accident?
yeah, DUI.
Yeah.
DUI. They were going and I had watched something online, and I know the neighborhood, so I was watching it. And they literally took an extra spin like around the neighborhood. And if they didn't do that, they might still be here. And that I was watching that. I'm like, oh, that's a horrible thing to know about.
Wow. That was years ago, wasn't it? That was
Yeah,
years.
yeah. That was a long time ago. Long time ago. But I didn't know, like, he would be at parties I would go to, or he did stuff with the radio stations and stuff like that in Philly and stuff. So that's the only way I knew who I knew them. And because then not only that, you would see people dressed up like the giant panda bears and whatever, chasing each other down the street. You just went, oh,
Okay, who's the most famous person you ever met? Personally,
the most famous?
the most famous. Hi, Diana. Thank you. Yeah, the most famous person you ever met.
Maybe it was to me, the hands down was Dave Matthews and everybody in the band. That was the most amazing thing for me. But I
Because
would say the most famous person would be Kenny Chesney.
Oh,
Keith
really?
Urban.
Is he as cute as he looks?
Short.
Is he really?
Oh,
Is he
he's
really?
so tiny. Yeah, he's real. He was shorter than me because he didn't have his boots on and he didn't have his cowboy hat on. He was short.
Oh my goodness.
He was short.
Well, when you told me that Marissa's short, I'm like, no, I
To a
always thought
I
Marissa.
wouldn't call her short, but she's shorter than me.
Well, yeah, but I always thought her. Okay, here's my opinion of what I thought Marissa would probably be about 5'8", 5'9".
No,
That's because she
I
looks
think she's
tall.
more like.
Hey, Bailey.
I think she's more like 5'4", 5'3", in my opinion, but I don't know. I mean,
Well, that's not tall.
No,
I mean, it's not short, but it's
exactly.
not tall.
I'm 5'5". I used
I'm
to
having
be
a good
5'6"
day,
and a
Bailey.
half at some point. and then I've shrunk because of my spine.
Oh, Taco says MGL is short MF. Is Taco, how tall are you? Because I see Taco to me
I would
is
say
tall too.
Taco's probably about the same height because with them in pictures, they look like they were about the same height. Am I right? Am I wrong?
I don't
I would,
know.
just by looking when you guys had the
I don't
video
know.
and
I
text-
just picture them as being really tall. I don't know why. And you as being short. But you're taller than Marissa, right?
Yeah.
But you're not that tall either.
No,
I'm
I
5'2".
I'm 5'5".
I'm 5'2".
Out of all of my sisters and my mother, I'm the tallest.
5'4", 5'5", she says. Taco. See, that's not tall. That's
Yeah,
about
so, all
average.
right, me and Taco then are about the same height.
Yeah. That's about average height, I think. Because most
Yeah.
people are around 5'4", 5'5".
My sisters are like 5'1", 5'2".
My
and
daughter's
I'm-
5'7". I don't know where she got her height from, but
I was
definitely wasn't for me.
in high school. In high school, there was a time and a place where I was 5'7".
Really?
Really?
So you shrunk?
Yeah.
Wow. Is that because of your ankylosing spondylitis?
You love saying that.
I do. I love it. Whenever I get a chance to say it, I will
I
say it.
know. I just think it's funny.
Well, no, but seriously, is that why?
Yeah, because I had a fusion,
Okay.
so my
So
L4.
it makes you shorter.
Well, you lose height in your spine because you take your spine, which is made of bone, and then you make it into metal. Yeah, it's going to shrink.
Oh, so from 5'7" to 5'4", that's like a
I'm
good
not
3
5'4".
inches.
No. I'm 5'5".
5'5". So 2 inches. That's a lot.
So since being a teenager, because when I was in high school, I was way, and in college, I was way taller. At least I felt like I was.
Well, you know what's really funny is I always thought I was 5'4" till I had my staph infection, and I went in the hospital and they told me, and it was on my driver's license even, that I was 5'4". And I went in the hospital, and of course they measure you and they weigh you, and they said you're 5'2", and I said no, I'm not. They said, trust me, you are 5'2". I'm like, well, and I shrunk because all these years I thought I was 5'4", and I tell everybody I'm 5'4", but now I say 5'2" because I mean I was actually measured. So, but that's funny.
Hold on. I will say this. I hate the news. I do not watch the news. I will watch Good Day Philadelphia that they have here locally. They are the freaking funniest in the morning. Completely. I laugh all the time watching them.
Oh, I can't wear stiletto heels.
Do
Are
you know
you
who
kidding
Mike
me?
Jarek is? He used to have a show called they used to have an old, it was Mike and Molly, I think the name of the show. No. Mike and Molly was the what's her name? Melissa McCarthy.
Hey, dorky.
Yeah, it was a Melissa McCarthy movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Mike Jarek.
Oh yeah, that show that was that sitcom.
No, Mike is a news anchor here in Philly. He
okay.
had
I'm
a
thinking
talk
of
show. I'm going to say back in the early 2000s he got it because he left
Okay.
Philly, got this nationally syndicated show. They had it going for a few years, and then he wound up coming back to Philly. And he's so funny and entertaining to watch. It's not like actually watching the news. That's why I kind of watch them a lot, because they're funny.
That would actually be the kind of news I would want to watch nowadays, because I don't
They really try to make it lighthearted.
Yeah.
And they really try to go, they basically tell you the news. They don't tell you their opinion.
Right. And I stopped watching the news during this whole period.
Oh,
I could probably
I have been done with the news except for Good Day. I'll watch Good Day because they're
I
entertaining.
can probably count, I swear to God, on my 2 hands how many times I've watched TV in this last year. I swear to God. Unless it's been like a cooking show or and something that's not serious. Like I just don't watch. I don't even turn the TV on. Like it's amazing. Like I won't even turn. And before I had the TV, I was white noise all day long. The TV would be on.
Oh,
Not
right.
anymore.
That's the 9 times out of 10, the TV will be on to keep me company in the house if I'm by myself. Like right now, like I have the TV on, but the sound's down as I'm talking to you on YouTube.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, and
I
too
have
the other day.
ADHD so badly. Like, honest to God, sometimes if you see me coming, like my husband can literally see the dialogue going in my head because I'll come down the steps, I'll go towards the kitchen, and then I'll think about something, and I'll turn around, and then I'll get mad at myself, and I go back again, and then I'll turn around and go back again. And he's like, "What is wrong with you?" He's like, "One thing at a time." He knows because I have about 3 or 4 things going at the same time. I don't know which direction to go.
My husband gets mad at me because he'll be talking to me and I'll have things going on in my brain, what I'm going to make for supper, what I'm going to do, and he'll be talking, he'll be telling me a story, and he'll go, "You didn't hear a word I said, did you?" And then I'm like, "Yeah, I did."
That's all married couples, I think.
Oh my gosh. Sometimes I just tune him out and he gets so upset because he doesn't like repeating himself. So he'll like, "I'm not repeating it. I'm not telling you again." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." But I'll be thinking about, and I'm like that. My mind will wander. So, but yeah.
But you know what? You know, one of the craziest stories that I have, you know who Don McLean is?
Yes.
I got groped by him before.
You what?
I was groped by him before.
You were groped?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. That was the
That's
weirdest.
sexual harassment.
Well, okay, we're going back to the early 2000s, and I stood in a picture, and pretty much he did what. Do you remember when Taylor Swift sued that DJ?
Yes.
That's legitimately what happened. He grabbed my ass behind it and kind of whispered in my ear and went, "I love redheads." Now, mind you, the man was like 70, 75. I am like absolutely repulsed at the whole thought of this whole thing. And yet there's cameras right in front of us, and he didn't seem to give a crap at all. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Now I'm
Well,
not looking to like take this guy's career down because he grew. I mean, I can't even imagine.
and I heard you say yesterday on Molly's channel that you thought Dan Abrams looked sick.
He didn't look
I
well to me.
I think he looks like he's lost weight, but I didn't see him as looking sick because he's always
I guess maybe it is that he lost weight because I never thought maybe he had any weight to lose.
Yeah, he didn't look sick to me, but he did look like he's lost some weight. But then who knows,
You don't know. Yeah,
No.
there's a lot of things.
I always thought he was handsome. A handsome
Yeah,
guy.
me too. Me too. He's been around for a while.
Oh yeah. He's
It's when he came across the screen, that was just like the first thing I think I saw, but I don't know if I knew it was weight loss or if he was. Well, weight loss happens to a lot of people sick. Like it didn't look like a healthy weight loss to me.
Yeah, I couldn't. Well, you could be right. He's on ID a lot. He's always like you always see him like on these crime things, crime podcasts talking about. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff.
yeah, he does. He's everywhere. Same with that what's that black guy's name? He's always on there too. On uh on ABC. I don't know. He's on ID a lot too. That's if I do watch TV,
Who are you
that's what I
talking
watch.
about?
I can't remember his name. I just know. He used to
Is
be.
it a news reporter, a newscaster?
He's a reporter. Like he reports on crime. I
So
think he used
he's
to be a.
more at the scene.
Yeah, he used to be like.
Lester
I
Holt?
think he used to be a lawyer.
Not Lester
Actually,
Holt, is it?
not Lester Holt. He used to be on HLN too. What's his name? Oh, I can't remember his name. I'm really so bad with names, guys. Seriously, really bad. I'm sure I'm going to get shit for that. But yeah, I used to follow him on Facebook because he would always post like stories, like crimes and stuff,
Mhm.
which is I'm getting back to watching a lot of crime stories. You know,
Apparently, there was a shooting in Macungie. Do you know where Macungie is?
no.
I guess it's more towards the Poconos, I guess, around here. Um, Apparently, there was a shooting at a Wawa.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
When was this? Yesterday?
this morning, right now.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
And
I'm getting so where I, it's honestly, I don't even want to hear the news anymore. It's
it,
just
yeah,
so
exactly.
depressing.
There is something called knowing too much information. There really is. You don't need to know that much. I don't think God ever intended us to know everything, because if you know everything, you're going to worry about everything constantly. Some things are just,
Well, it's like
what don't know will kill you.
that shooting in that grocery store. Like, are you going to be afraid to go to a grocery store? Like, who expects? You never know. It's going to come when it happens, if it happens, and it probably will again. It's going to come out of the blue and you're not going to know where it is. It's not something you have any control over. It happens, it happens.
Exactly. And if you're constantly afraid of that, then you're not living your life. Like
Well,
you
yeah,
can't.
you can't. I mean,
Because I can remember, and I had just shared this story with a couple of people because I'm like, oh my God, do you remember this? And it was about the DC snipers.
oh, I remember that. I remember.
And we had plans. It was in December. We were going to Dave Matthews in DC. And you were hearing more and more and more people who were getting shot, like in that area.
Right.
And my friend Carrie's like, oh, maybe we shouldn't go. I'm like, I am not letting two people stop me from going to a concert. Hell, I was so mad, but then they caught them. So I was like, oh, good. So she didn't worry anymore. So she wound up going. But I was like, I am not sitting at home because I'm worried that someone might be sitting off. And I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that.
Well, and two, it's like the grocery store. Like, who would have ever expected what happened in Colorado to happen? Nobody. Who would have expected what happened in the synagogue in Pittsburgh to happen when all those people were murdered here? Like nobody. Like you don't know.
You
It's
don't know
just
when
like
it's going to
you
happen.
cannot live your life on
Um,
the assumption something might happen. I mean,
Hello, remember 9/11?
uh-huh.
Like, going to
Yes.
work was terrifying, or coming home from work was
I just
terrifying that
watched
day.
I just watched another documentary about that. And I'm like, oh my God, how terrifying that must have been. Like it was a documentary on the woman that was hanging out the building and waving for help. And I'm thinking to myself, like, how terrifying must that
I
have
I
been?
do I do believe that was one of I was probably the most I was very afraid for my life that day. Very afraid.
Oh, yes.
Because I
Yes.
was in Philly, and then you had someone like Peter Jennings coming out saying that the one that was going to Schwenksville, the one in Schwenksville had not gone down yet, and they said that they thought it was going to Philly. My building was directly across the street from the largest
Yeah.
building in
Mhm.
Philly, and then all of us were in a panic, in a bad running, screaming for your life panic. I My friend's like, you are not taking the train home. I'm taking you home. I said, okay. I wasn't fighting her. I'm like, great. And thankfully, I was thankful for that because they actually wound up shutting all public transportation down. No one could get in and out of the city. So as we're leaving the city, we're still in a panic until we're out of the city.
Mhm.
There are at 30th Street Station, which will take you on to the highways to get out of Philly, and that's where the train station is located at.
Hey,
There were
Joy.
people in suits hitchhiking all the way down Market Street. It was insane. We picked up 3 people we didn't know and
Right.
took these people to their cars, and they were just thankful. And I said, nobody's worried about anybody today. Nobody's worried about. You're just trying to help everybody get
Yep.
someplace safe. And that
Yeah.
that
That was
a crazy
scary.
experience. That was a crazy
That was
experience.
that was something. That sure brought this, I think it brought this country together, but it was such a tragic, monumental loss. Like
It really was.
it was have you ever been to the any of the memorials?
There's one by me, and I've been to the one in New York.
Okay, so we went to the one in Shanksville.
Right. Well, there's a memorial in Bucks County, PA, and I actually took when Miss Murder was here, I took her there because we were thinking of something locally to do, and I'm like, maybe this. And she's like, absolutely, because it has a steel beam from there.
Sure, Diana.
What's that?
Oh, she just said she might be going live today, and she was.
Okay. I'm probably going to go live today as well. So.
Oh, cool! I will be in everybody's stream. I promise. I was like gonna go. I was gonna go on yours yesterday. I was like the first one in because you were gonna go live at 3:30, and then you changed it to 4. Then you changed it to 5.
Ash was on for so long, and I was listening to Ash, and it broke my heart.
Oh yeah,
how she was feeling.
That was hard to but she is trying to be a better person. She's trying to she's trying to live her best life, and you have to respect that. And look, Ash and I have not always gotten along.
And I said that to her. I said, you kind of went hardcore there for a while. You lost me, like totally.
Yeah.
But I see the progress she's making, and you can only applaud her for it,
Well, and too, listening, and to be honest with you, I had never heard all that when that whole other live stream was going on.
I didn't know anything about it.
I just thought it was horrible.
I didn't like what I was hearing, and that's where I didn't listen to it. And
that's where you lose me. You lose me when you have to have a panel and just pick and pick and pick and pick and pick at people, especially at one person.
I don't pick it in. I mean, I will say Diane brought out the worst in me. But I don't go picking at people on here. It's not what I don't really care to ever. It's not, I don't do it in my normal life. Why would I do it on the internet?
Right.
I don't do that. It's just not who I am. I don't pick at people. But can people piss me off? Absolutely. But majority of YouTube shit does not piss me off because it's exactly what it is. It's bullshit. But what happened with Diane was not.
And like I'm like, this YouTube stuff is so like insignificant. Like Joy is saying, I'm still fighting, but my husband is very bad.
It's high
they
school.
Can't get his oxygen levels to stay above 80. They have to intubate him. So that's the kind of things that people struggle with day to day. And we're supposed to worry about these people that are mean, that are picking on, someone.
I don't worry about them because.
Well, I don't either because I don't watch them, but I had no choice but to listen to it because I was in that stream. And
in Ashes, yeah. I can't listen to mean streams.
Oh no, I didn't even know it had gone on. Like I had no clue that it had even gone on. Like seriously. I knew she was having problems with people. I didn't know the whole extent of the problems, and I didn't know they had a designated live stream to just go after her, which is, it's kind of sad because they were her biggest supporters before. And what changed? What changed?
I don't know. I don't play these. I can't. I got enough reality in my life.
We're grown ups over here.
Drama that this to me is just, it's middle school. That's all. It's middle school stuff. Absolutely. Majority of it. And when you're attacking, when you are attacking people's, them being mothers, or attacking people's looks, and I don't care who you are. when she started attacking like physical appearance, that's where I'm like, you completely freaking lost me.
Yeah. And trust me, I've been
Because
through.
that's just to be mean. That's all that you want to get to that person, and you
Oh,
want to
and
be
you
as
start
mean as
calling
possible.
people names like,
And of course, people must be,
it must be. Here's the thing: if you start attacking someone's looks, there's something wrong with you in your head.
you got to take a step back and go, how angry
Yeah,
am I? Why
there's
am I
something
angry?
wrong with that
Why am I
person.
attacking looks and
Yeah.
people being mothers? And that has nothing to
Grown
do with what
mothers
we.
are being so horrible to another human being. Exactly, Joy. And why? What for?
I'm sorry. Our women are the worst to each other, and I don't know why. Women can be so terrible to each other and try to tear this shit down. And this
And
is
then
just
laugh about it.
females. I'm talking about females.
I know. I think to be honest with you, I think women can be worse than men as far as being abusive, verbally abusive to each other.
Absolutely. Sure,
I
a
mean,
girl
I've
can
seen it.
hurl cursing and whatever and be verbally abusive. They can be physically abusive.
Oh, definitely they can be both. But I'm saying from what and I've never seen it before because I was on Facebook before, okay? I had no clue that they even did live streams on YouTube.
I
But
didn't know much about live streams. Yeah, it was not something in the beginning that I thought I would be interested in.
I have never seen such hatefulness on here. And I've been the subject of it. And I'm not going to say I was innocent because I have, I
Yeah,
have,
yeah. I know you're not innocent, Carla.
oh, I know I'm not. And I'm absolutely had to learn by my mistakes.
And
But
I'm not completely innocent. I know I've said some stupid stuff, but I really do try not to say negative shit about people at all.
exactly.
I
And
really don't.
I try not to. Like if I don't like a person, I am not going to mention their
I mean,
name
but
and
if
I'm
I
not.
see something going on, I think I'm also entitled to my opinion of it as well. You know what I mean? And that's all it is. I don't call out
Exactly.
shame.
You're
I
entitled
don't
to
shame
voice
people.
your opinion.
I shame Diane. Like I said, Diane brought the worst out of me. I
Um,
that whole
Hey,
story.
Blink. Yeah. Joyce says, I have never acted that way they do. My daughter is 35 years old and she doesn't behave like those people. My daughter
My
doesn't either.
daughter's 10 years old and doesn't act like them.
My daughter is the sweetest person. She would not, like, you would not believe my daughter is like so sweet. Like, I don't know how she ended up the way she did, but she is like not only beautiful, like looks, but
Kind.
she's kind, and she was the type of kid in school that would always befriend the ones that were picked on and bullied, and I'm so proud of her, that she is the type of person she is.
My oldest daughter, mind you, she knows how to seriously push my buttons, but she is beyond kind, bubbly, nice, always happy.
Right.
There's points when she comes in and she's so happy, and I'm like, why are you so happy? And
Yes, exactly, Joy. You
I
raised them
was
right.
that person for many years where I was never really in a bad mood. And that was the type of person I was throughout my 20s, 30s. But then I also drank a lot during that time as well. And I'm not going to lie. And I probably had a huge alcohol problem
Well,
during those
I'm
days.
going to say this. I have had some of the stuff that's been thrown my way coming to me because I didn't keep my mouth shut. But I have learned, and you have to learn by your mistakes.
Keep
And I
your
have learned
mouth
it
shut.
is better to keep your mouth shut, not mention names, and just
And not to get mad and blow up and put it on the
I mean,
internet.
sometimes you need to like address certain things,
But
and I
that's
will if I have to.
if
I
I
feel
was really upset that somebody said something to me, I would go behind and try to reach them out to them and be like, what did I do?
Well, that's the only way you'll solve anything.
And that's
There's
what
nothing.
it is. I don't want to play the games. And if I really hurt somebody's feeling, I would want to know And I would want to correct that. I don't want to fight about it and tell you that I'm not wrong. This person's wrong. And I'm going to make a fight about it. And I need Carla up here and Molly Golightly up here.
I never
And
understood
Shane,
that.
I can't get into that. That to me, that's
No.
not entertaining. It's
No.
just, it's not entertaining.
And then you just feed off each other and nothing ever gets solved. Like if you have a problem with someone and you take it behind the scenes, 9 times out of 10, it's like if you meet someone, a lot of these people that are on here screaming and yelling and carrying on, if they met you in person, probably wouldn't act the way they do in person. And that's the same in like behind the scenes. If you talk to them behind the scenes, they probably wouldn't act the way they do on a panel where they're just bashing
and see, and that's, when I started my channel, I swore that I was going to stick to being myself. And I have. For the most part. Have I gone into chats and gotten pissed off about, all of this crap that's happened recently? Yes, because it really did piss me off. But
oh yeah, definitely.
at
I
the
think it pissed a
same
lot of
time,
people.
like I realized I gotta let that energy go.
But
because
then,
it's
then
not
something
healthy anymore.
happens, like what happened on Molly's, where $16,000 or $17,000 was
That, and
raised for
out
St.
of
Jude,
nowhere.
and that makes it.
The whole thing was we had no idea. No one
No.
knew that was going to happen.
And I mean, and here's the thing, Diane, everything a receipt came instantly with that. You just clicked on donate and I mean, within a minute, I think
We
I
all
got
got
my
it.
receipt.
But
Yeah.
the fact of the matter is, we all know what happened. Everybody knows what happened.
Exactly.
Sit and pretend, and that they're still playing that game of she didn't do anything. Okay. You know what? I do believe in karma, and what goes around comes around. And if you're going to put out that stuff and you're going to con people, it's going to come back on you twofolds. I am that person who believes that will happen.
I agree. Bailey says no one is innocent, but listen, these people have
nobody
gone to be. I say that too. I am not innocent. There's no way I'm innocent. But I try not to get.
When I first met you, though, you had me fooled for a while. Until I got to. I'm like, yeah, I know you.
Well,
but
yeah,
you're not a vicious person. You don't go after people unless people start saying stuff about you, and then you get hurt.
Well, and now I've gotten to the point where it doesn't matter.
There's got to be certain people's opinions that you just got to go. I cannot give
their opinion is none of my business, so you just
give it the attention.
Yeah. And I mean, if you do, that just gives them a reason to fight back and get back at you and say whatever they say, make fun of your looks or make fun of your weight or make fun of whatever it is.
I mean, this isn't like, people say this is drama. This isn't drama. This is people just giving an excuse to act like assholes. That's what this is. And that's how I look at a lot of the stuff that goes on YouTube. Oh, so you can be an asshole if you're a creator. Okay. No.
Hey, Samson. Yeah, you can be an asshole, but you don't. It's like, and also, I don't know what drama. To me, drama. When I was growing up, drama was like soap operas. Like it was like, why can't we do like?
That's the problem. All the soaps are gone, and everybody's creating their own.
Well, here's the thing. Do you think some of it is just they just manufacture it? They just find something to hone in on so they can have something and get the numbers and get the views and get the.
They have to. They have
because I mean it can't be like every day there's someone else.
And there are some people who don't necessarily go out for it and find it, and they're like, Chasing Truth was someone I didn't know very much of until this whole thing went down.
Oh, I like her. I like her a lot.
She kind of blew up big time.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I didn't know Shoot the Shit. I didn't know.
No, I was always told to stay away
I didn't know a lot of people before this whole Diane thing. And I think I've gotten to see what I think could be some good people.
Don't you think that that's been positive in all of this? Is that you've gotten to know people that probably you might not have, really gotten to know through all of this, but now you've got like
But I
Janie
gotta
Bobaney and the PF, and I love PF. I adore her.
this
Um,
place, when I started YouTube about two and a half, a little over 2 years ago, um, for my channel, like I was a subscriber way long before than I had a channel, and a lot of people don't even realize I have a channel, believe it or not, because I don't do the drama. So a lot of people don't even realize I even have a channel. Um,
so sub to Ginger Locks. Here, let me post her
that's like, I
thing
didn't
here.
read about that.
Because yes, she does have a channel
I
and she's
do,
awesome.
and I
She,
really
she
don't.
does.
I'll talk
She
about
doesn't
Amber
pronounce.
Heard and Johnny Depp drama. Yeah, I'll talk about that all day, every day.
Yeah, but that's
I talk about
interesting.
royalty drama. I'll talk about that all day, every day, because why that stuff is interesting to me. Yes, like I'm like, I woke up. I'm like, all right, I got to set. Well, I didn't set my alarm, but I thought I was going to have to set my alarm to watch the funeral. But I got up just in time to watch it, and I thought it was a beautiful service for. I thought it was very. I mean, besides the COVID pandemic that kept them, and I felt so bad for the Queen, it was a beautiful service, probably
She's
exactly
been
the service Philip would have wanted to have.
they've been married for 73 years.
That's insane.
That is like a long time. He was going to be 100 years old this year.
Now, who was I talking to this about? I do believe you're going to see her to slowly start to deteriorate without him.
I think so too, because that happens a lot of
And
times.
today is her birthday. Today is her 95th birthday.
Oh, is it?
God save
Because
the
that
Queen.
happens a lot with people that have been together for a long time.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed being here, and I
I
think Carla
saw
has
that
the same.
happen with my husband's grandparents. Like when we got married, he had his grandparents. I was like, that's insane to me that he had his grandparents at that age. Like mine died when I was way younger. So my grandfather lived with us for 10 years. He died when I was in college. So that Jason actually had grandparents alive to go to their wedding, and like both of them. He died a few years later, and she just slowly started to deteriorate within a year to a year and a half, and she had passed away.
God.
Because they keep each other go. I mean, especially the wife, they're from a different era where, they cook for the man, they do everything for the man because
Yeah.
that's what they're used to. And once that stops, everything that their purpose is now gone. So I see, like, for instance, I've noticed my parents have gotten much older during the pandemic, way older. In a year than I've ever seen them age because they're not doing anything. And it's
So
not
what do you think of the whole Harry and William?
Harry's wrong. I think now I really wanted to give Megan the benefit of the doubt. I
I did
really was on
too.
her side,
I really
but
did because
everything I'm seeing is that she wears the pants in that relationship.
Harry, can I say something? Harry was my favorite prince. Like before he was
Ditto.
married, he was my
Ditto. I
favorite,
agree.
favorite prince. I always had a soft spot for him. I don't know
He's a
why.
ginger. Of course, I have a soft
Red
spot for him.
hair or what it was, but I just loved him.
For me,
And
it was
then
the red hair. I always have sympathy for the red.
and he's got the cutest. You see their baby. The baby is the cutest.
Adorable. And whether
But
you like Meghan Markle or not, she is a beautiful, beautiful
oh,
woman.
she is.
Physically.
But making
But
someone give up their legacy
I
to
get
me,
Amber Heard vibes from her.
really.
I do. And this has just been since the tell-all that I've gotten this vibe. And guess what? That vibe is also all around England. because
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
you know how I'm really good friends with
She's
Ruby.
not well liked. Everybody loves Kate.
That now see, there should have been no reason ever for her to ever go to that funeral. Okay, so the pal said
No,
it was because of the baby. You know, everyone's like,
right.
yeah, we all know it's not because of the baby. And she had to come out and be like, yeah, I don't want to take the tension off people. Why couldn't you just stick to what the palace said? And they're just like, and I saw a British news thing, and they were like, why can't you just shut up? And because she constantly has to contradict what the palace is saying.
I
And
think that's attention. And she likes the attention. She does. She
has to.
basks in the attention.
I
And I really did like her. I liked them both at first.
I,
But
I
now,
I gave her the benefit of the doubt. I'm
yeah.
like, come on, how much power could she honestly have over like a British
Oh,
monarch?
she has a lot.
One, well, she's got a lot of power over Harry, so that's what's causing the problems. And then to throw your brother, your father, your whole family under the bus, regardless, I would never, ever, if something was wrong in a family, that's private. There's something that certain things should remain private. Does she have a right to defend herself because the British press attacked her? Yes. Do I think Piers Morgan was being an asshole about her? Yes. All of that I totally agree on. But when you got the Archbishop of Canterbury coming out and saying, I never married them, it wouldn't make it legal and binding. So why would you say to Oprah, we got married 2 days before?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Bailey says,
because they're not plastering it everywhere. But yeah, the Archbishop of Canterbury came out and said, I did no such thing. And then you go, now
so
how
she's a
can I believe
liar.
her?
She's another one that's a liar.
And I was, and according to the palace, what happened between now, when you get two girls who get mad at each other, you can have 3, 4, 5 different stories come out of that one way, because it's all how, if somebody was on Kate's side, somebody was on Meghan's side, somebody was in the family, like somebody is going to have different views of what happened, just like anybody does in normal life, And, say I go to my best friend and I complain to her about my family and I told her everything that I was feeling, but say the opposite was going on, really. But from my point of view, it seemed like it was the right thing that was going on. But I was only taking it from my point of view and not actually taking it from other people's point of view. And I try to do that now more than like my friend is having a very difficult time. And
well, she knew what she was getting into before the wedding. She knew.
Absolutely.
Come on. It's not like she went in there blind. She had to have known.
And not only that, everybody knew Diana's story. Everybody.
Oh, come on. You had to be under a rock if you didn't.
I mean, I understand if maybe you're 16 and under, you may not have heard of her yet or not actually found. But if you know about the royal family, which just about everybody does, I think, around the world.
Pretty much.
You know Diana.
Yeah.
You know because you know who Prince Charles is. You know who Camilla is. You know what Camilla was. Like, we all know.
Well, she absolutely knew who Harry was. And she did all those trips with him. So she had to have been able to research the royal family and
but apparently she never. And this was another thing that nobody believes. She said she never looked up Harry before she met him.
Bullshit. I don't believe that. Not at all.
If I know I'm meeting somebody, I don't think I necessarily go. I don't go searching for somebody and look them up. Believe it or not, I am not that type of person. But then again, I'm married. I'm not looking in a significant other. Would I try to look up other people when I was like on Match.com or something like that and say, well, no, because I was not on Match at the same time I was on Facebook. I didn't start Facebook in 2007 and I was already married. So yeah, I never used it for that kind of avenue at all, ever. It's always just been a way for me to talk to friends from high school, college, old places that I worked and stuff like that.
Well, supposedly she had the place that they were going to live, she had it completely remodeled because it wasn't to her liking.
Oh
And it
yeah.
was like millions of dollars at the taxpayers' expense.
I
And
forget
then
what the
they
name of
up
that.
and leave.
It's a
You know?
cottage. I think it's Fox something.
Yeah,
And,
something
and Be- I, I,
more cottage.
yeah, and Beatrice and her husband live there now.
Yeah.
Princess Beatrice and her husband. And see, they have, I believe they have they do have the HRH term, Her Royal Highness, because they are a part of the family. But the funny thing is that,
Oh, and she lied about that Prince Harry wasn't going to have he wasn't going to have a title. That wasn't
he
true
wasn't going to
either.
have his HR. Well,
He was not going to have a title. That's bullshit.
Archie.
He has to have.
They said Archie wasn't going to have a title.
Yeah, Archie wasn't going to have a title. That's not true. He's going to have a title. He's a royal.
The problem what they were saying was that they were not going to have any type of security for him. I didn't know. I don't know about the whole title stuff. I'm not really
I
sure
thought
about
she
that.
said something about a title. They weren't going to give him a title, or he wasn't going to get a title, so he wouldn't get
probably
security.
would have been like some kind of title, but it wouldn't have been a prince. He wouldn't have been a prince because his father isn't in line to be king.
No, he's like, what is he, fifth in line or something?
Oh, he has been pushed so far back now because of all the kids and stuff.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
I'm sorry though. I love Kate. I do love Kate.
Oh, I do too. She's so beautiful. And she's classy. I think she's got so much class.
Well, you also have to remember, like, her and William have been doing this for a while. And let's face it, they've had their own marital issues as well. That's been aired out.
Oh, yes. Even before they got married.
Uncomfortable.
Even before they got married, she broke up with him a couple times because he was being a
I
jerk.
believe it was only once she broke up with him.
And then her friends told her that she wasn't royal material because she was a commoner.
But her parents were rich as crap, so she was.
Oh yeah, she was.
She, in my eyes, yeah, you were pretty much royalty. You just never had a term.
Right.
You know, anybody who probably goes to one of those colleges because they're Ivy Leagues. That's an Ivy League school over there, isn't it? That they went to?
I think so too. Yeah, I think so. It's like a pretty prestigious school. But
I felt bad for William. I didn't feel bad for Harry because, you know, what I guess really turned me off on everything was, all right, you guys did your interview. Yeah, probably wasn't the best idea. You know,
Cass, really?
you know, two people lost their jobs over
Cass
that
says,
interview.
I don't think Meghan had to look him up. She knew, and what she didn't know, her friends and family did. I still like her more than Kate. I think Kate hides things more. Meghan doesn't care if you know.
I
I don't know.
see. That's not my
I
opinion.
did agree to disagree about that.
Yeah, that's not my opinion of her.
Yeah, I think
my opinion has changed, and it's all since
I wanted to like her. I really did.
You know how many people I hear say that?
I
they
did.
wanted to root her on, and things just don't.
I did. I just thought it was so cool that they had her, that she was going to be in the royal family, and it was kind of like a game changer. And I really did. I seriously, and plus Harry was my favorite one of the royals. Like, I always thought he was cool. Like, he was cool. Plus a war hero. I mean, he fought in Falkland Islands, you know, so, you know, yeah.
It's the whole thing is that when he called his family after the interview, and then he freaking called Gayle King to give her an update. That's where I went.
Wait, I didn't hear this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, after the interview, Gail King came out and said that Prince Harry had contacted her and said he has spoke to Charles and William, but they were very unproductive. So
Why would
Gail
he?
reports that,
Oh, geez.
and they now know that, and now he's running to the American press telling him his family's dirty laundry. And yeah, they don't trust him. They don't trust
Can
him.
you blame them?
No,
Some
not at
things,
all.
I mean, should be left like unsaid and left.
But
Yeah.
to see
Yeah.
them talking though after the funeral, I was so happy to see that.
Yeah, they were. And even Kate was, I think, in the procession, she was talking to him too. So that was nice to see that you can put your differences behind and, you know, because, you know, really, he was a patriarch.
Yep.
But anyways, I think I'm going to hop down. That's been 2 hours.
Yeah,
You said you're going.
I can't. It's almost 10 o'clock here.
I know. You
I'm
said
supposed
you,
to. Oh, I gotta call
you,
my
s-
doctor.
you said you're going to go live today, right?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go live later.
Okay. Well, don't make me sit in there for like a half an hour and then not show up.
I never normally push things off on my live when I
I'm sitting
normally
there.
do it.
I go in
do
there
it,
the
but
first time,
yesterday things
like
kept
going
popping
live
up.
at 1:30, and then I go back, going live at 2, and then going live at 3, and going live at 4. And then and last time I went there, I think it said in 17 hours. I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I pushed it to today.
Really early if I stay in here.
All right, I gotta go call my doctor. I gotta let them know that I'm not coming there today.
Okay, hon. Thank you for coming up.
Oh,
Come on in.
no problem.
Okay, love you.
Love you too.
Thank you guys for coming in. I hope you guys had a good time here. We got snow today, so it's pretty like crappy here, but I think it's going to melt because it's stopped snowing and it's supposed to go up to 46 degrees. So you guys all have a great day. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate each and every one of you. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.